What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is 20s Season 2, Episode 9. So we open up this episode. We have Marie in her wedding dress standing in front of the mirror. Child, she was in a doll. And Chuck walks in and he says, "Hey, is that the dress?" And she said, "I think so." And he was like, "Well, it's not the dress anymore because it is bad luck to see the bride before the wedding." And she said, "Listen, I don't believe in all that." He was like, "But it's bad luck." She was like, "But it's not." So then she asked him, she said, "So listen, hey, while I was out of town doing what I was doing, did you explore?" And, Chuck was like, "What is it that you're expecting from me? Did you want me to go have sex with a man, say how much I hated it, and so we can move forward? Like, was this really about me exploring and figuring things out, or was it about me eliminating the option?" I put that in. That was my sauce. I added that sauce. But that's essentially what he was saying. And she was like, "Listen, I don't even know. I don't even know at this point." And so she asked him, "Listen, what are we doing? She said, "Do you really want to marry me?" And he says, "I don't know." He says, "Do you want to marry me?" And she says, I'm nervous." And he was like, "I'm nervous too." And they have a really good moment. He says, "Listen, how about we do, for once, how about we do what we want to do instead of what people expect us to do?" And she was like, "What's that?" He said, "Call this wedding off." And she was like, "I agree. I think that's a good idea." And so I think that was the best decision, because here's the reality of the situation. They may end up floating back to each other, but because, and I said this when that episode first happened, because Chuck has stifled his desires to be with men, I think he needs to explore that, because just because somebody is bisexual does not mean that they can't be in a monogamous relationship, or they can't be with a man, or they can't be with but I do think it's fair to everybody involved, even if it's just somebody, a future person he's going to date, that he explores it and figures it out, right? It's kind of like somebody puts 5 pieces of cake in front of you and says, "Choose one," but you ain't had a chance to taste the rest of them. You want to taste all the cake before you know which cake you really want, right? Right. Anyway, so Nia has a whole breakdown about it. Okay, she is upset. She said, "First my job, and now this." Like, when she say something is in retrograde, child, she's all earthy and stuff. Hattie was not surprised, shocked at all, because of course, remember, Hattie was like, "Listen, I knew all along that the man, was bisexual, and I already saw this coming, so I'm not upset. I mean, I want you to be okay, but I'm not upset." And, I think at first, I think Marie is okay with it, because Marie got, she got boss boy down to the job, and she got, my boy making the movie. So I think she feels like she's got some options, because people have been flirting with her and all of that. So she wasn't as upset. And Nia tried to tell her, "Girl, ain't nothing out here in this dating pool." And they were like, "Don't you have 2 whole men trying to get your attention?" She was like, "One is Ben, so take that for what it's worth. And the second one is Tristan, and child, he is still all over the place. He ain't figured his life out yet, and I don't have the energy for it." She said, "What I need to do is I need to be focused on getting my job back. I need to talk to Ida." And Marie was like, "Well, I heard that, she's like that when she thinks someone is prettier than her." And, Nia was like, "I don't think that's the problem. Do you, Hattie?" Hattie was like, "What? I don't, huh?" Because remember, Marie still doesn't know about the Hattie Ida situation. So I don't know what we're going to do about that one, child. But down to the job, we have Marie meeting with Ben and with the boss man, and they're pitching ideas. And Ben is just convinced that he's going to make this movie just called Happy People. Now, on one end, Ben has a valid point about stuff, because they keep telling him, "You can't do this movie. You need, first of all, you don't, it's just called Happy People. That's just a horrible title. And what is it about? And what is it, what are you doing? And who are you going to get starring in the movie?" And he said, "Well, I'm going to get Nia to start." And Marie was like, "Nia ain't nobody. Like, she my friend and I love her, but you already have a weak ass movie. You need a star. You need somebody that's going to bring in the revenue." And he was like, "Well, but white people make movies about nothing all the time. Just nothing." And I think he has a valid point. When you put it like that, that's valid. That white people make movies about just nothing. And boss man was like, listen, I'm in the business of making money. He was like, when did you become so woke? And Marie was like, don't do that. Mm-mm. And he was like, but at the end of the day, I just want to make a movie with my people about being happy. Like, what is the problem with that? Like, why can't we just be happy? Like, Pharrell said it best. Because I'm happy. And he said, listen, either you going to make this movie or I'm out of here. And Boss Man was like, are you five? Like, what do you mean you going to quit because I won't do what you want me to do? Like, say what? See, that's why he should have gave Marie the job to begin with. But now Marie wants to talk to him about, she was like, well, me and, Chuck broke up. And he was like, oh. And she was like, what? You thought we broke up because of you? And he was like, I don't know what to think. But what I don't want is for this to get awkward. I don't want this to turn into a problem or a thing. I want us to just make some good movies and be cool. Now, here's my problem with this. I feel like last week, y'all, and I know you weren't in a place to have a conversation last week, Marie, but I think last week y'all needed to have the conversation. But hell, after it happened, y'all needed to have it. Instead of you just getting up and walking out the room pretending like it didn't happen, it needed to be addressed. We are all adults. It happened. Shit went down. Maybe y'all need to say what happens in the desert stays in the desert. Like, we're going to come back and act like it never went down. Or we're going to acknowledge it. Me and you going to hook up from time to time and get a good 1-2 in. But in the office, it's business. And that's what we going to do. Okay? Now, Marie ends up talking to Nia and was like, girl, why didn't you tell me you would star in Ben's movie? She was like, girl, I ain't know. All we did was have drinks. We talked about it over drinks. I didn't say nothing about starring in his movie. And Nia lets her know that, oh boy, basketball player, his name is escaping me now, he had a baby. So she is really stuck. Because Nia was like, oh, like, she was like, well, why didn't he tell me? Nia was like, did you really think that the two of y'all was going to hook up after? And she was like, I don't know what I thought. Like, I really don't know what I thought was going to happen here. But at the end of the day, I think she thought that she had some options and now she's down to zero. Because she even said to Nia, well, should I get back with Chuck? Girl, I don't think you should get back with Chuck, but I do think your plan B might not be as much of a plan B as you thought it was. You know what I'm saying? So then Ben lets him know that he quit his job and he was starting his own production company. And Marie is like, Ben, that is stupid. What are you doing? Why would you do that? Like, you know how many people start production companies and end up done? Like you need to figure out how to do it within the confines of this job. And he was like, no, and you really need to come with me. Now, I'm wondering if in season 3, that's what's going to end up happening, that Marie's going to leave the company and end up going to work with Ben. I don't know if that's the best idea because the two of them can't get along and agree on a damn thing. But anyway, so then we have Miss Hattie. Hattie is meeting with her agent. And, of course, exactly what everybody tried to explain to Hattie, she's not ready for the next step. Yes, you have an agent, but he's not ready to start sending you out and sending your work out to try to, get deals. And he's telling her, listen, your script is better, but we still got some things we need to do. And she's getting frustrated because she's ready to make money. Why? Because she broke, And while she's in there talking to him, telling him how broke she is, her phone rings. She don't want to answer it because she think it might be a bill collector. Girl, I know the feeling. Or at least I knew the feeling. Well, sometimes I still know the feeling. Anyway. And it's her damn daddy. Now, she said she ain't seen her daddy since 5th grade, honey. And her first instinct is, what do you want and why are you here? He talking about something, I just landed in L.A. Child, he was getting off the Greyhound with a book bag, okay? She calls her mama, and her mama has no idea why he could be lurking around and what he could possibly want. But in the meantime and in between time, Hattie does end up going to meet with him. She doesn't tell Adina about it. Adina knows she got something on her mind. She doesn't tell Adina about it. But also, old girl that hooked her up with the agent is flirting with her too. And Hattie, you need to nip that in the bud because at first you thought she might have been flirting, but she absolutely is flirting now. And you need to nip that in the bud, Hattie. Don't play these games and don't make no mistake and don't fuck over Adina. Because I feel like Adina be the one. I feel like she would turn into Lynn Whitfield and be thin line between love and hate. Like she done already told you don't play with her heart and don't play these games. Baby, I think you're gonna show up. You're gonna wake up and it's gonna be a cake in your house with a knife through it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I wouldn't play with Adina like that. That's all I'm saying about it. That's all I'm gonna say. But in the meantime and in between time, she does go to meet up with her daddy, and come to find out her daddy is like a wannabe comedian. He says he's in town for the show, and he invites her to come to the show. And she was like, I might come. He was like, either you coming or you not. Like, what you doing? Now, I feel like, sir, I have not seen you or talked to you since 5th grade. Since I was in the 5th grade. You don't get to dictate. I said I might come. Put my name on the list. Add my friends. I need a +5. And I'll see if we'll make it. And to be honest, we're probably going to be the only 5 people in the damn venue. The way you look like you showed up. He talking about some he headlining. What headliner coming on the Greyhound with a book bag? I'm just saying. I am just saying. So, Hattie ends up going back to Adina's house that night. And she was like, you mad at me? And Dina was like, I'm not mad. I just want to know what's going on. Like, I can tell you distracted. I can tell you got something going on. Just tell me. So, Hattie ends up telling her about the dad and all that situation. And so she was like, thanks for letting me know. She said, but listen, next time you got something on your mind and there's something going down like that, you need to let me know. Like, I'm your woman. Like, we share these things. Like, that was serious. That was something that was heavy. Your your daddy showing up out of the blue, that was heavy. Heavy. Anyway. That was the episode. I feel like next week is going to be the season finale because generally speaking, Lena does these sitcoms in episodes of 10. I'm assuming Lena Waithe, ma'am. I'm sorry, I'm gonna call you by your first name. I don't know you like that, Miss Waithe, ma'am. If you watching this, or if anybody is showing you this, or if you heard about this, is Boomerang coming back? I know I could probably Google that, but I just figured I'll ask you personally. But generally speaking, we get 10 episodes at a time, so I'm thinking next week is probably the season finale. But I'm here for season 3. I'm ready for it. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments. Peace.